Welcome to Abuwa podcast show today. I am Faboye Abidemi, your regular host on this show. Today I have a guest. He is an entrepreneur. We call him by name Americana. Today you are going to know the reason why we call it Americana. Presently now, I will ask my guest to introduce himself to viewers. Thank you, Americana. You are welcome to Abuwa podcast show.
Fab, thank you so much.
Yeah, can you introduce yourself to
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, viewers, listeners all around the world, wherever you are. Good morning to you, good evening, good afternoon. My name by birth is Chinedu Richard Abuwa. I'm an Igbo man. I was born in Nigeria, in the eastern side, Abia State. So that's me, that's where I originate from. The name Americana comes because I traveled when I was very young to America. Yes, it's not really the land of milk and honey, but let's continue. Thank you so much for having me.
Viewers, you will join me to please help me asking some questions today, because I don't know how to use American terms, but how we learn from him. So, Chinedu, you've been in Nigeria for a while.
Yes.
I got to know you around, and I noticed you're an entrepreneur. You are into so many things. Can you tell us the secret behind these things? You're into painting, you can paint, you can manufacture paint, you can do a bricklaying job, you can do plumbing, you run a restaurant, you're a cook. Please, can you tell us the secret behind all this?
You're making me sound like Superman.
Yes,
I'm not Superman.
Are you sure?
I'm
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
There's not really any secret to it. The secret to success is being focused. My reason for being who I am is because when I was young, my father was very, very, very diligent, and he was very, very strong.
Okay.
Now, he left here, Nigeria, maybe when I was just a couple of years old. So, my father was a strong man. He was a man of discipline.
Okay.
And he believed that if I stayed focused and disciplined, there would be less reasons for me to get into trouble. So, education was number one for my father. Without education in this land, in this world, you're not getting anywhere. So, education was what he pushed on. But now, behavioral issues, I had a lot of behavioral problems. The man you're seeing today was not always the same person. I was very wild and rambunctious. I was hard to, how would you say it? I was hard to discipline. I didn't like people telling me what to do.
Are you saying you were a bit disciplined when you were young?
No, I was very disciplined. You know, any small thing that I did, my father would check me. I'm very stubborn. I am very, very stubborn. You know, I'm the equivalent of that goat that doesn't want to follow. You know, I'm that strong bull because once I'm focused, there's absolutely nothing that'll stop me in this world. That is my one determination, you know. So I follow the principles my father left me. You know, if you want to succeed in this world, you have to be willing to stand alone. If you want to achieve anything in this life, you have to put your dreams on point, but you also have to do the footwork to make sure your goals and your dreams are aligning as one. You know, so that's pretty much how.
Are you doing this one?
I am. This one's complicated. I am the only son to my father.
Okay.
But I have a half brother.
Okay.
From a different father. So. That all happened when my father left Nigeria. So I guess my mother wasn't ready to wait, you know, and so she jumped the gun.
No, yeah, no. It's normal.
Yes, for sure, it's normal, you know. I can't blame
She's
her.
still even young.
My mother was young. God rest her soul. She passed away when I entered Nigeria. That was 2016.
Okay.
There was a few issues concerning her health. And so that was one of my main reasons for coming home. But I didn't know she was sick. I just, it had been 28 years since I seen my mother last. And I said, okay, I need to come and see my mom. So that was my main drive for coming home.
Thank you, Chinedu. You really told us about your father. I trained you up while you happen to be the only son for your father. Who actually trained you in these entrepreneurial business? Is it the father or your sojourn in US, or when you came back to Nigeria and you saw there's no job? Because I still want to know. You're an entrepreneurial person. I know you. You hardly say no to any job. You hardly say it's not possible. I've known you for a while. You hardly say it is impossible.
Yes.
So how did you? Let's say that same training your father gave you all when you were in the US, learned this thing, or when you came back and saw it wasn't what you planned for. So what is the secret behind this?
There's no secret, really. Everything started...
Because, sorry, if I ask you now, can you do this POP? You tell me you can do POP.
Definitely. I can break it down for you from the integral aspect of POP.
What is the secret? How come?
Well, the secret is thinking outside the box.
Thinking outside the box.
Think outside the box. Let your imagination speak for itself. You know, POP looks very complicating, very complex, but really, if one was to show a little bit of interest, is one. That is the key component to anything you do in this life. Two, have the willingness, that drive. You say, okay, this thing looks really nice. How do I go about obtaining it or learning it? You get into the field, small, you ask questions. You know, you ask people who follow.
So you never get formal training?
No, I've never had formal training. The only thing I've had formal training for was to operate heavy equipment. I'm a Caterpillar operator.
So you can operate heavy equipment?
I operate
everything,
heavy equipment, forklift, Raymond Reach. There's 5 class Raymond Reach, so I operate them. Cherry picker, anything, skid steering, bobcat, you name it. You know, anything you'll see.
You can drive a truck.
I can drive a truck. I'm not licensed. I was supposed to do my AZ before I left, but due to certain restrictions and conditions, I wasn't able to follow through. But since being home in Nigeria, I've obtained a lot of experience, per se.
Okay.
Yeah.
Americana, you came back home in 2016.
2016.
Almost 6-7 years ago.
That's 7 years ago. Almost 8.
Almost 8 years ago. Since your arrival.
Yes.
Did you regret leaving the US?
No, I have no regrets at all. I don't have any regrets, you know. The only issue for me is not being able to see my children. But that one is another complicating issue, so, you know, we'll not touch that one too much, you know. But I don't have any regrets. Being here in Nigeria has given me another look in life. It's given me opportunities to help empower people. It's given me an opportunity to help empower myself, because one thing I know about this life is there's no food for a lazy person, and I shall not go hungry.
Now, a bit. You train in the US. Do you marry an African woman, or basically a Negro, or what?
No. I married as what we Nigerians would call Oyibo.
Oyibo.
Yes, I married a white woman.
A white woman.
You know, she's she was my beautiful queen. You know, we met 1993. I was about 17 years old. You know, yeah, we were like high school sweethearts.
You met in high school?
We met in high school. We were both in high school. Not the same school, but, you know, she came from the goody side. And I came
goody?
The goody side.
Which one is goody side?
Goody side is like, she come from the white collar side. You know, like her parents were well stabilized, you know. Her father was, he still manages.
Okay, are you referring to the rich family?
Well, they're not rich, you know. They're not millionaires, if that's what you're talking about, you know. But a family that is stable means that at any given time, if any emergency arises, they're prepared.
They are prepared.
So they have three girls, you know, and I fell in love with one.
Okay.
And she is the mother of my children. I have two beautiful children out there. Keja Lynn Nijelski and
Is that what?
Keja Lynn
Nijelski.
That's my daughter, my firstborn. And Braylon is my secondborn.
Brilliant.
Yeah, Braylon.
Okay, brilliant.
So, you know, they're my world. I would do anything for them. You know, unfortunately, life throws you curveballs and you have to deal with the outcome.
The life in the US and the life in Nigeria, basically we knew that they're two different parts. When you came back home, your mom was sick, you didn't know, you came and you met her sick, and you were eager to meet your mom. Did you meet her alive?
Yes. You know, this is one of the most touching aspects of my childhood or my adulthood. You know, my mother gave birth to me. She raised me till I was 8, and then I traveled.
Did you travel with your dad?
No, my father was already there.
Okay, well,
so he sent for me. So his sister was the one that carried me too.
Okay.
But so coming home, you know, I was very excited to see my mother. When I seen her within the first few days of me being here, I seen her, and then that was when I knew she was sick. But the emotions were running very, very deep. So we were able to exchange hugs. You know, I love yous, and you know, it was at that time that I noticed that she was ill, and she was undergoing medical treatment, but it wasn't from a hospital, it was more from a native doctor.
Okay, from a native doctor.
Yes. Now, me coming from where I'm coming from, I'm not familiar with native doctors, so to me, I thought it was hocus pocus, you know, it was just somebody trying to pull my leg, but in turn, you know, the native doctor was real, but his medicine was not effective enough to catch the issue. So by the time we brought her to the hospital, it was already far along. So we were deciding whether to amputate or not to amputate, you know.
Was it diabetes?
She was diabetic, so diabetes was what took her life, you know. But I thank God. Everything that happened.
And she saw you very well.
She saw me. She cried. We on her bedside. On her sick bed. I sat right beside her, and I was reading the scriptures to her. So as I was reading the scriptures, she would slowly focus on my face. You know, and I knew that my mother was coherent. She knew what was going on. Now that was in between her sickness, the pains, and reality. Everything was just happening at once, you know. So God rest her soul, because within the next 2 days she passed. We were just about to move her from.
When the next 2 days you were around Nigeria?
Everything happened within the first 2 weeks of me entering Nigeria.
2 weeks ago.
Yes, because the first week I stayed in Lagos. I was in a hotel
Okay.
for about a week before I made arrangements to come east. So when I got to the east, that was where the search was on, because we were trying to locate. It was my cousin.
Okay, you never had a vivid address of where your mommy says?
No, 28 years away from my mom.
20 or 28?
28 years away from my mother. Last time we spoke was by letter. I was 12 years old.
By letter?
By letter. But physical contact, it had been 28 years. You know, life happened. You know, I was busy with the monotony of living in the US and then going to Canada. So between the two entities, I just sort of lost myself in that world, or those worlds, you know. But I was really happy to be able to see my mother before she passed. You know, most people would have taken it as a strike from the enemy, but I look at it as a part of life. We're born, we grow, we die. Some die younger, some die older. You know what I mean? So it's a part of life. And just for the fact that I was able to hug my mother, embrace her, tell her I loved her, that's all I needed. That was all I needed. You know.
When you were leaving the US, your dad was still alive. Was he alive?
Yes. My father tried. He passed away just about almost 3 years ago.
Your father in the US or
You know, he passed away in Canada.
In Canada.
He was almost 85. He was about 84 years old.
84 years old.
He didn't try now. He tried for sure.
That means you are the first child of your dad.
I'm the first child of my dad. I'm the only child of my dad.
Only child of your dad.
Yes.
And the first. Okay, the only child.
Of him. I'm the
You
only
never
child.
had a sister from your father.
From him, no. I have stepsisters.
I understand.
You know,
From my
but-
mom's side.
No, I have half sister, half brother from my mother's side.
Okay.
But
You
I
also have a stepsister.
steps, yes.
Okay.
You know, I love my stepmother. Her name is Denise. She's a wonderful woman. Oyibo.
Oyibo too?
Yes. You know, it's not that we were trying to keep away from our own kind, but it's just when you go to white man's land, you know, you have a lot of white people.
Yes.
So at that time, we were the minority. So as a minority,
Even the skin will show you out.
yes, no, definitely, you know. So, my father, I was graced to grow up with my father, you know, amidst all my life living and wrongdoings and everything. My father, he fought hard. He stood by my side, 110%, you know. So I give all kudos, well, first to God.
So both of them really tried on you. The father tried, the mother tried. So nobody to be blamed. They tried their best. Or you want to say your dad never did enough.
Well, to be honest, you know, I love my father dearly because, you know, without him I wouldn't be alive. You know, like the seed of Abraham, you know, I'm the seed of Baldwin, Abuwa. I'm an Abuwa, you know. But my father's trip to the United States was not as fruitful as he would have expected, you know. And when I had entered, he had a couple businesses on the go, you know. So when I was young, I didn't really get to see him around because he was busy work, shop. So he was working and he was running a shop. So, you know, I think that's where I got my inspiration, you know, to keep busy all the time. Because if a man trying to take care of his family is juggling a full-time 9 to 5 and still running his own business, the man tried. But the only thing I can say for my dad is he didn't try hard enough. He didn't know the secret to success on that side. So there was no finance, you know. He was broke. He was, you know, I'm not saying this to humiliate my father in any way. My father tried, you know, because to fight in a boxing ring is not easy. Blow after blow after blow, and you keep getting up. You tried, you know. So that's pretty much how life was. It blew.
You said your dad never knew the secret to success or secret to money. Have you now discovered secret to success?
I'm still on that journey. Every day is a part of that. That every day is a part of that journey. Now I try and make every day as successful as possible. Now it's for each individual to describe success for themselves, because what I classify as my successes may not be your successes. You know, but being a young entrepreneur, it's given me opportunity to advance myself, to enhance everything that I've learned and continue on that growth pattern, you know.
Okay, Americana,
So,
you're an average age man. A young Nigerian comes to meet you, he wants to japa the normal language here in Nigeria. Japa, you understand what
yeah, I understand.
to the Canada, to US or to Europe generally, and meet you with this your tone. This man looks like you are from US, yeah, and stuff, and begin to ask you, will you encourage such a person
Definitely, I'll always encourage people.
to travel out?
Well, see, I can't stop anybody
Sure.
from traveling. You know, if it's
we want to see your experience.
well, my experience.
You were in US, Canada for how many years put together?
I was there for 31 years.
31 years.
31 years. So I put in my full. How would that? That's a full-time career.
Yeah.
You know, they should be
Youthful
paying,
age.
They should be paying me a pension now. You know, excuse me. Yeah. So 31 years I spent out that side. You know, for the most of that 31 years, it was all about experience, experiment, and grow. I hit a lot of stumbling blocks, because the color of my skin was one of the challenges.
Yes.
So to all youths in Nigeria, Biko, please, 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 if you want to make a move like this, be smart, be wise about it. Don't think because you're in Nigeria you know everything, because you know nothing. What you know here is irrelevant over there. So if you want to do anything, just be really ready to learn. Change your mindset. Adapt that attitude of I can do it. I want to do it. If I have never done it, at least let me try. And the grass is not necessarily greener on the other side. I can contest to that. Yes, Nigeria is tough. But it's that toughness that had made me stay this long, because I've seen the potentials within this nation. Just unfortunate that we don't have proper leadership, proper management, and proper coordination. But aside from that, this is God's country. So regardless of what the government wants to do, we, the people, we still stand. There's nothing they can do. They can never break us.
Yeah.
And as long as we don't break ourselves, we can never fall.
Well, I have a friend. He's a good friend, and he traveled to the US. He's a lawyer.
Okay.
After a year or two, after communicating, he told me he works in a factory. Later, he works in Drive. I said, Barrister, why are you not practicing? I had experience in Europe, France, and Germany.
Okay.
But I want to relate with him in America. He laughed. I said, what happened to your LLB and BL? He said, Abifab, he said, you've been to Germany, you've been to France. He said, if you don't have skill acquisition before leaving Nigeria, he said, yeah. Is it the same in US, according to what my friend said? Is that the truth?
Yes, definitely. Like I said before, you need to upgrade your skills. Learn as much as you can, because America is all about knowledge. Because that knowledge is power. The more you know, the more you grow, the more you elevate. If you don't know anything, it's going to be a really, really, really tough go for that individual. When I went, it was because I had support. And then from that support system, I branched out on my own.
Okay.
So once I branched out on my own, I started to latch on to different angles, different areas in society, because those are my contacts. Those are the points of breaking anything. So once I made those contacts, then I just nourished them. I wasn't kissing anybody's rear. I didn't disrespect anybody. I followed the rules, or at least according to what the criteria set for me.
Yeah.
So that place is wonderful. There's opportunities for everybody, but it's not easy.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. Like as one would just rent a shop here, start packing goods, you're in business. Over there, it's not like that. If you find a space, you'll lease it, and then you have to get your permits. So if you're vending this, then you have to get a vendor's permit for that. If you're selling this, you have to get a vendor's permit for that. If your place is not up to code, you'll get shut down. So there's a lot of rules and regulations that must be followed. You can't just cross the street anyway, anyhow. People do it, but don't get caught. If you get caught, you pay the penalty. Driving, there's stipulations. If you get caught, you pay the penalty. So anything you do, you have to be wise about it. Don't do it because you feel, oh, Nigeria is a free country, so I'm here in Canada or I'm here in the United States, let me be free. It's not like that. You'll end up in prison.
Thank you, viewers. My good friend, today my host, is just telling us what it is to be an Americana. He's an Americana as properly known here in Lagos. He's sharing his experience, how his daddy took him at age of 3 to the US, and how he was in the US for 28 years. How he missed his mom, and he came back home just 2 weeks after arriving in Nigeria. He lost his mom. He's still around, and he's an entrepreneur. What I mean entrepreneur, this is a man that is diversified into different things. I know him because I noticed him around where he was painting. He was manufacturing paint for himself, and he was painting a big building, At the same time, I saw him again somewhere else with some bricklayers. I saw him plastering fence. I was wondering. I saw him again a day mixing white cement. What are you about to do, America? He said he's want to prepare some cave for POP. So I was surprised. Like, this man is into everything. So that's why I brought him here. I want youth viewers to actually learn from him. I hope you've enjoyed him, and we'll continue with my interview now with him. Chinedu, since you arrive, this your donation. Does it sell you out whenever you are in a mix of people?
Definitely.
Is it an advantage or is it an advantage?
It's both. I look at it as it's an advantage to a set degree, but at the same time, it's like marking an X on the spot, because this country, through our hardship and suffering, some people would mistake me for a white person.
Even with your mark?
No, my marks are what set me aside, but just based on my intonation, if they never see my face and they hear me from behind or wherever, they're prone to look. Curiosity will strike. So, for me, it has been a bonus, because with this intonation comes a lot of responsibilities, because I have to watch how I use it.
Okay.
Some people don't understand super. So everything's about being mindful.
Okay.
And then I use it at the same time to help my business.
Okay.
So it's a gift. It's not something that I earned overnight. It took me 31 years to earn it. So that's kudos for me. I can never get rid of it.
You shared an experience with me. Sometimes you were traveling to the east and you were robbed, and maybe they heard your donation or something like that. I can't remember. Can you share that experience? What happened? What transpired?
Man, that one was a nightmare. I was just supposed to go to the east to visit my family, because it had been 5 years since I've been in the east last.
Okay.
And my sister's children, I love my children now. The children were missing me. Okay. So I made them a promise that Uncle's coming.
Yeah.
So I decided to be smart and save time and money. So I chose to go by night. I'll never do it again. So I paid my bus ticket, which was pretty hefty.
Okay.
Here in Lagos. Yeah. And it was to go direct to Abuwa State.
Okay.
I said, okay, no problem. So I entered the journey, and we began. This was almost midnight. So when we entered Anambra.
Okay. That's after the bridge.
That was after the bridge. Onitsha. So we entered Anambra. There was one stop that we made before we got to Onitsha.
Okay.
So there we took a few minutes break, just so we can eat and then move. So during that whole trip, I tried my best not to communicate with anybody, because my intonation, it's nighttime, and I know how Nigerians can get, so some are good, some are bad. But, unfortunately, I met up with some bad ones, because when we entered the bus again, I had one phone call come in. So it was about 2 minutes. I answered. I tried not to say too much, to give too much information. So when I hung up, I knew that there was some people paying attention, but
inside the bus?
They were inside the bus now. I wasn't really too focused on anything on that level happening, It was just, I'm minding my own business. I just finished the call. Let me get back to my film and what. So it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, between 3 and 5:30 in the morning.
Before you got to Abia?
No, Abia, Guinea. I was still in Onitsha, Anambra. They robbed me around that time, so before it was about 5:30.
Were you on transit, or where you?
I just exited transit. I don't know what happened. I had come off the bus. We made a quick break. So everybody come off the bus. You know, the driver wasn't around. There was a few shady characters, and but I noticed a lot of things. I'm a street guy, you know what I mean. But I try not to put too much thought and focus on it. You know, I want to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. So it wasn't until, like I said, it was after 3:30, just before 5. You know, a group of assailants came. They jumped me from behind. You know, pushed me, kicked me. And they started to stomp on me. I had my backpack strapped to my back. Okay. You know, because I had just come off the bus and we were trying to load and whatnot. And then all I remember was I had my cell phone in the palm of my hand. Yeah. My tablet was inside my pocket. No, it was inside my pocket. Okay. You know, I had a few gadgets with me. You know, I had some small change. So as I fell to the ground, I was just wondering, what's up? What's up, man? I disrespect anybody. What's gonna happen? So then, as they were beating me up, my fight or flight instinct kicked in. Okay. I said, no, these people want to kill me, so I can't stay here. I'm on the ground. I have 8 guys just kicking. 8 guys. So I was just, I don't know. Now by the grace of God, I was able to kick one guy to the shin, and he dropped. And I made a raw attempt, and then got myself to my feet, and I just ran for the highway. So as I get to the expressway, one moto stopped. His motor boy got out. He seen that I was fairly shaken up. I had blood on me and stuff, and so he came across with a piece of weapon. He wanted to find these guys. So before then, those guys they done come out. They ran away. So, the guy held me on the bus. And then as they attended to my care, I told them where I was going. And so they directed me to a different bus where I had to pay different money.
You lost the first one?
The first one didn't come out. I canceled that one. So it was the second one. Now this one was another nightmare. Because after that experience, this bus dropped me off in Imo State. Okay. So as I'm in Imo State,
and you were supposed to go
I'm supposed to go to Abuwa State. I paid for Abuwa State twice and I never made it. So I'm going inter state. So when I get to Imo State, I had no contact with anybody. My phone just went silent. And so I asked around, how do I get to, because my Igbo is not that correct.
Strong,
It's not strong at all. So Supra was all I had. You know what I mean? So this is where I can say another instance where it helped me out. It saved me, So they pointed me in the right direction. I paid more money. I finally made it to my family, and I thank God. It was a successful journey, with a few challenges, but, what's life without a challenge?
Were you disappointed with this attack?
Yes, now, because how are you going to attack a stranger, a person you've never met in your life? I have done nothing to you. I don't know you. I'm just a passerby going my own way. So I don't know what happened. I don't know who provoked them or who sent them and what was their mission. They managed to get a few little odds and ends for me, but to me it's soft. I mean, water under the bridge. I forgive them for what they did. Why they did it, I don't know. They may be hungry, they may be greedy, they may be terrorists. But to me, whatever it is that they're doing, I just pray that they get their act together, because that same measure they used on me, it will be measured against them. Yeah. Karma is one mean.
Karma.
I believe in karma.
While we're rounding up Chinedu, are you planning to go back to the US? You just want to stay here, you want your family, your wife, your 2 kids to come and meet you here, or you still want to go back?
No, I'm a traveler, I'm a traveler. So traveling is what I like to do, it's just I travel around now. I've been around, outside of those places, outside of Canada and US. I've traveled small. But I have plans of going back, based on business, based upon business. And I want to use that opportunity as a medium to charter back and forth, and maybe be able to establish a bridge between this land and that land, because my nieces and nephews, they're going to be getting older, and I don't see a prominent, aspect for them here in Nigeria. But with my help, definitely there'll be something going on. Even if it is to have the girls or my nephew run a few shops, no problem. But at least I know what I'm doing right now is to help secure their tomorrow. As far as my children, my wife tried. I give her props. Jennifer, you tried. You're an amazing woman. I'm just sorry that life happened the way it happened. My children, I love you, Keja, Brillin. I wish you nothing but success in this life. Stay focused. Stay away from all those rubbish people because they just want to bring you down. There's nothing wrong with being by yourself. This goes out to everybody in the world. If you have to isolate in a good way. Be around people that know your movements. Talk to people that understand who you are, and give yourself an opportunity to excel in anything you do. Don't take no as an answer. Because
I was about to say, what message do you have for your kids? But you're already saying it.
Don't take no for an answer, and don't let anybody push you around. I'm not saying I'm going to promote fighting, but you must stand for your right, because as an individual, we all have rights.
Yes.
And we have responsibilities as citizens. So to anybody, our youth, be mindful of yourself, watch out for one another. I know Nigeria is a hard country, but if you can carry one or two people along with you, you'll see a better journey. If you want to go by yourself, it's going to be rough. It's not to say that it can't be done, but it'll be a rough journey. Believe me, I've done it.
Thank you, viewers. My guest today, Americana Chinedu, seriously has opened my head and my eyes a lot of things. I discovered that a man can be versatile in all fields. People say too much of knowledge can cripple you, but with him, it cannot cripple. And what I've discovered from him, virtually advise Nigerian youth, get skill. Said you can try anything, but don't go into a crime. Don't go into what will destroy your name. With his experience, 28 years in the US, came back about almost 8 years ago. He's still doing it. He never stayed one end and said no, because I have a family in the US. This is highly recognized. So this point, I want to use this medium to say thank you for coming on Alifa Podcast Show, Chinedu.
Thank you so much for having me. Man, thank you so much for having me. It's been an honor.
Yeah, you're welcome. Now, viewers, please, like I already said, this is a podcast show for lifestyle and business. Go and subscribe to our channel. Yet, Alifa Podcast Show on YouTube. Just press the subscribe button and ring the bell so that each time we come on daily basis, weekly, you get all my guests. And here we'll be having a wonderful guest. I will continue to have a wonderful guest. Thank you for watching. I remain your host, Abuwa. Thank you. Bye.
What it do,
Americana. Thank you.
That's so.